cash talk. Walk in the booth like Naomi on the catwalk. And tell them bitches whoop whoop from the Jaguar. It ain't even right though. Push me and I might go. She ain't getting money, I'm like, what the fuck the hype for? When them bitches bite flow, make my appetite go. Poof, gone, voila, magic. Looking mad good just to pull up on them rampant.
Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged and Immoral. I am Mecca.
And I'm Jamila.
And we are exhausted.
It's been probably the longest 48 hours. Actually, it's been the longest week of my life, but
it's just been long. I'm tired. Like, I'm emotionally tired, and I'm also like literally physically tired. And we're not even done. After we finish recording, we have to go to a photo shoot because we're going to shoot new promo pics and also promo pics for our upcoming live show that we're planning. So that will be fun. A little gaggy moment. So yesterday was Trans Day of Visibility, and we had the honor of getting invited to the opening of Ts Madison's starter home here in Atlanta. Miss Dominique Morgan invited us. Dominique is like a trailblazer in her own right. Definitely a queen of philanthropy and housing projects in general. This would be her third one. She does so much work for the Black trans community, but like the Black community as a whole, because the work that they're doing, there can be starter homes for Black people, not just Black trans women, which, as Dominique has stated herself, is the idea as a whole. Maddie is just the first one to put the funding and the money behind it. And for that, she's a real ass bitch, but we all knew that. Exactly. You know, and we got to witness the whole thing open from start to finish. How did it feel? I feel like it's just now setting in what happened.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm gonna have many different
Yeah. Because this morning I woke up because we were so on go yesterday. I left my house. I left Houston at 4 a.m. I was flying out of IAH. I live on the south side, 45 minutes in the Uber. So I fly, I get here, I land, I Uber straight to the starter home. I didn't get to come to Jamila's house. I had my bags with me. I had to change. I did everything there. We did not leave the event because after the event we had to stay and interview and then also just fellowship, honestly.
A little mix and
mingle. We left about 4 p.m. So full 12 hours. After that, an old white man tried to go to glory in front of us.
Before we get there. Because
I'm so tired.
I was going to answer your question about how I'm feeling.
Okay.
because
I had so much happened yesterday, y'all. Y'all don't understand.
It was a long day. I feel like I'm going to have many moments of reflection like, wow, that just happened. Wow, that just happened. Wow, that just happened. I'm still like, what the hell? How is that even in my life? And so it's definitely a surreal feeling. And what's great about that opportunity, outside of it being just a good opportunity for, I don't want to say community service, but servicing your community. I feel like it's a better way to put it.
Servicing the community, as we all should be.
Outside of that being such a great moment and stepping into that philanthropy light, I'm also just like an actual fan of Ts Madison.
Yeah. So I think it was two things happening. Being in like awe of Dominique and how she put all this together and really clicking like what is going on and what she has pieced together with the help of Maddie and all these other amazing Black women.
Yeah.
But then I was literally sitting next to Angelica Ross the entire time, casually. I was like,
I'm just like, this is crazy.
And you know how you trying to play it cool? Like,
and what do we say? To be frank, guys, I'm not cool. I am like, inside, if you could have, it looked like a shaken soda bottle inside of me. Cause I'm like, I am sitting in front of Ts Madison, Angelica Ross, and all these other amazing people. And I'm just sitting there like, what the hell is happening? And I'm like, this is crazy. Mind you, when everything first popped out, it was a little while ago. I had made some videos about Drag Race. I had been holding all of my feelings about Drag Race. And so I made this video about Drag Race and I ended up getting on live just talking about Drag Race. Shout out to the Drag Race fans. Y'all know how we get. So I'm literally on live just talking about Drag Race over the years and all the things. And Dominique's getting my live. This is before I even followed her. So she's in my live and she says, Ts Madison wants to talk to you. I said, please don't play with me like this. This is not the time for jokes. I did not believe her. I was like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. She was like, I'm literally going to DM you. I swear, I swear, I swear. So then obviously when I go to her page, I'm like, oh, you. Like, I know exactly who you are because she did that dinner with Ts Madison when they were talking about trans lives and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, shit. Like, what are you talking about? This is a lot. So to start there, and even sometimes, you know, like people can say things, but it sometimes doesn't iron out because, you know, people has schedules. There's always these things going on. So I didn't take it too seriously in the sense of like, this could be just in general. Maybe she just saw my video and liked it. Cool. Like, let me just keep that. But then to follow through with the actual invitation and be like, but not only do we want y'all there, we want y'all to cover it. Oh, bitch.
I just want to say I'm in awe of Dominique. And that's why I keep making sure that I also say Dominique Morgan's name. Because I remember on our call, I was like, I have seen your name in articles before. I had not put two and two together because, you know, like we're mutuals. I hadn't put it together. I just want you to know you are that bitch. You do the work. You do the work. You do so much. Wow.
It's insane because I think a lot of times people don't really understand the world of philanthropy, and which it's a whole other universe. A friend of mine who was actually at the space yesterday, we went to church together. That's how we met years ago, and she works in the land of philanthropy, and she also she's been bringing me into it because what I do with birth work is within that space of community organizing as well. It's like that's a huge portion of it, and so I've been being exposed over the last 2 or 3 years to this world of community work, and not to be shady at all, but when I see certain conversations happening online, I'm often taken aback because I'm like, if you were on the ground doing the work in real life, you would not be a stranger to these conversations. And that's where I'll leave that.
Leave it right there. No, but like, yes, Dominique, if just go ahead and Google Dominique Morgan, everything that she's done. I made it my mission to like find out all of her projects so that when I met her, I could also say like, no, but thank you. And thank you for putting this together.
Yeah.
And something that we got to say to Ts Madison, if you watch our interview and we got to talk about it, the first Black woman to fund this project was a Black cis woman. And I think there are conversations that happen quarterly on the internet when it comes to cis and trans Black women specifically. The most recent one was that gym situation.
Yeah.
If you're only on the internet, you will think that there is
a whole bunch of division.
Shit. I almost knocked my tooth out, bitch.
Please.
Because it's the heavy one.
Because that'll be the next thing they talk about.
You would think there's so much strife.
Yeah.
We were in a space that was Black trans women and Black cis women. And it was being acknowledged as we are Black women, full stop. We are here to support each other, full fucking stop. We say it and it sounds cliche at this point, but I implore everyone to go outside.
Immediately.
Please go outside. The internet conversation, the discourse, and to your point.
And that's what I was going to say. It's actual internet conversation because even the disdain of the word cisgender, don't call me that, that's very internet because in real life, that's not the conversation that's happening.
The women,
because when they got up on that podium, whether they were cis or trans, that was never the conversation of there's differences and I'm this and you're that. It was never that. It was simply just, and women, and we need to do this, and we need to be community.
Let's take it a step further. The other cis Black women there were older Black women. Aunties, TTs.
Aunties.
The ones y'all claim really have the issues.
Somebody ain't doing the math right.
I just Cause and a lot of them, so the home specifically is for Black trans women who are coming out of incarceration. So a lot of these connections were made because these Black cis women had been incarcerated with Black trans women. And so everyone has out and free and getting involved and doing the work to keep all Black women from behind bars.
Yeah.
Essentially. I just felt like I was in a space and we needed that. And also Ts Madison. I knew Miss Mary was churchy because I used to watch the Week TV show. I know Maddie's churchy as well, but baby, she gave us sermons yesterday. It was just sermon after sermon after sermon.
It was such untimely nuggets of wisdom that I'm going to definitely hold dear to me. And she so much so reminded me of my grandmother on my mom's side, like
Miss Mary.
Like same name, very similar facial structure, same, like very similar cadence. And I'm like, some of the things she's saying, I was like, this is actually kind of a lot for me right now.
You know, and that, you know, woo-woo, spiritual, Christian, whatever you subscribe to, that's how God works. Because who's to say that wasn't your Miss Mary speaking through Miss Mary? Because y'all, and all of Jamila's siblings were included in this conversation. And the conversation on the car back was, that was crazy. That sounded just like grandmother. Oh my God. Blah,
that
blah, blah.
was
and
weird.
Obviously they all needed to hear it in different ways, but it was like not being related to y'all and watching y'all react to her. I was like, I love when the ancestors just do stuff like this. This is so fun. Because like I knew that they were all looking at each other because, okay, what's happening? But I was just like, I just love that. I love that level of spirituality. And I love when people are aware of that level of spirituality and can appreciate something like that and can say, woof.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then even kind of going towards when we got a moment outside of the interview to speak to Maddie just on a just let's just chat, you know? Like, I'm glad I was able with our platform to provide that space for my siblings, to queer Black people, you know, raised in the South, came up in the church, all the things.
I mean, the alignment that she has with y'all was there. And I was just like, we needed to be here today. All of us needed to be here today and get this.
Yeah.
Ts Madison was so welcoming. I think that also there's this thing of like trying to remain professional, obviously, but we are fans. And even me getting to be like, hey, I was a 14-year-old church kid. I actually had no idea what bigdickbitch.com meant. I just thought it was funny. And I remember seeing the Vine of you I didn't even equate it to anything sexual in nature. I was just like, this is crazy. What the fuck? And we have it on camera. She's like, that doorway right there. And she's cracking up. She's like, now you know you ain't supposed to know what that is. Like, it was just so funny. And she was so like pure, and even down to how she was like hugging us the whole time.
I was gonna say she's very affectionate,
like,
but it was so like, it was so natural, and it was so not for nothing about that entire day with anybody that we interacted with was forced, was weird, was cringy, nothing. Everything was so just, it felt so comfortable. I felt comfortable with everybody I was talking to. And y'all know I got social anxiety down, and I don't like talking to people, and I get very, very anxious. But I felt at home. I felt like, no pun, because we were obviously at Ts Madison's house, but I genuinely felt at home, and I felt at peace, and I felt like I didn't have to overly perform. I felt like I could be myself. I didn't feel the need to kind of like be too buttoned up. Obviously, I want to be professional and not in the professionalism, respectability politics kind of way. But more so in a, I take my job seriously kind of way. And I want to be sure that when this goes out, other people can see that I actually do take this so seriously, and I want this to transcend further. I don't want to just take it like, oh girl, hey, key. Like, I can key, and I'm going to ask you a great follow-up question right after, because that's the journalism in me.
As it should be.
We're going to take a break. And we're back.
I keep trying to make this spiritual and woo-woo, but obviously we walk into spaces and we feel touched. And this is not the first, obviously not the last space with heavy hitters that we have been welcomed into. Luckily for us, we have not been in too many spaces with other, famous people, influencers, celebrities, where it's felt weird, but I've definitely been there. And this was not that. And and it was so Black. I just want to say, it was the blackest. If you are Southern and Black and churchy, please just know it was like every church's choir director in one room. Because you have to have that queer aspect of it. But it was Black, churchy, Southern.
And it's so, the funniest part about it is if there were no isms and obvious,
that's how church would be.
That's what church would be like.
And what did he say? This is what heaven looks like. This is what heaven looks like. I said, but
that's the funniest part about it. It's like, actually, this has such the potential to be what church could be, because honestly, it was church. If we break down what church is,
other director of NASM was a pastor. I don't know if you caught of like, okay, I can't remember the church name right now.
And I'm like, that's so interesting, because a lot of the times when you tell super churchy folks that you kind of have disconnected from church, meaning like the actual church, they get into talking, well, like, okay, well, if we break down what church is supposed to be, community, uplifting, encouragement, all of those things, we did have church.
We had good church.
We went to church yesterday, and I'm okay with that. Because all of the things that make up what church is supposed to be, when you're talking about not just community building as far as like being there together, but talking about how you're going to help your community and following through, that's what church is really supposed to be. Nobody locked the doors. I will say that. That was the only thing that was missing.
We kept ringing the doorbell. We kept letting people in. The doors of the church were open.
But we did let you know where you can donate.
Donate and get that money. Because it is church.
NASMinc.org. Make sure you go.
And Ts Madison has her own
yes,
bar
it's going to be right at the top. You'll see Ts Madison Starter House. Click right there and you can donate to make sure that those ladies can have free rent.
Hello. Service. Hello.
And there you go.
T.S. Madison and Miss Mary was even sitting there quoting scripture. We really know, for all intended purposes, if you know how Black Southern churchy people get at anything. So to see that in a transgendered starter house was just like, we really are who we are. And what did Miss Mary say? Christian parents. And I mean, I'm going to post that when we're done with this. The most Christ-like thing you can do is love your child. Full stop. All you can do is train up a child in the way that they should go, and however they can't remember the exact words, and all they would follow the Lord. I know what I'm trying to say. I know what it meant. I know what it meant. I know what they're trying to get at.
For God so loved the world, whatever he said, he gave his only begotten.
His only begotten.
But yes,
kicking your child out and putting them in the street is not Christ-like, and that
at all, and it will never be.
When she said that, she said that's not of Christ.
Y'all don't even put out uncles for touching kids, but you.
I said, oh, Miss Mary, it's gagging. It's gaggy, right? Like she was putting the word out there, and she said it several times, so I could tell it was on her spirit. And she's you know,
and she kept saying, "Is this camera on?
Is this camera on?" To the Christian parents.
Oh, she meant that.
She meant
from
it.
the depth of her soul, and I said, "Yes, ma'am."
I said, "Yes, ma'am." Keep getting that out, because so many Black churchy people need to hear this. Putting your child out on the street is not the answer. And she was also transparent, which I respect, because people of a certain age, and she said this. She said, can y'all be gentler with your parents? We're mourning the loss of the child that we brought into the world. We understand we're getting a new one, but we let us mourn. But let's all go through that cycle together, and let's go through that cycle with love. And let's not put our children on the street, because our children are a reflection of us, and we are all a reflection of God. If you put your child on the street, what does that say about you? All as a parent you can do is raise a child up correctly. They're still that same person that you raised. And if you instilled in them proper values and proper love of God, they will never lose it. I said, my God, damn.
She ate that down. I'm like, that was so God. It was just so everything. And it's interesting, because I'm always really frustrated with this idea that queer people are innately perverted. That's a sentiment that happens a lot, and it frustrates me so bad. Obviously, because my siblings are queer, but because my siblings are queer, I have been brought into a lot of queer spaces. I'm surrounded by queer people all the time, and so obviously, I have that insight to know that not more perverted than us straight folks.
Yeah.
If you a freak, I'm a freak. We all freaks. But they're not innately that because of their queerness. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the part that frustrates me so much. And for you to have that ideology, that just lets me know you have never been in community with queer people. You've never been in community with queer people at all, because you would know that the perversion of what you believe to be sexual deviance is really just that of...
Ts Madison actually brought this up during our interview. She touched on that, which you can go watch it on our YouTube channel.
It is currently live.
It is up and posted. So, but she did touch on that.
Yeah.
Feeling that guilt.
Yeah.
Feeling like she had did something
right.
because
like she perverted other people for bringing them into queerness. And it's like, wow, I never even thought about that outlook of being a queer person. Because of course you feel this guilt and shame that comes from the church and all these other things. But feeling that guilt that you caused this other people, that's such an interesting insight. It's like, yeah, that's why y'all should start shutting the fuck up. A concept. Have you ever thought about shutting the fuck up?
Have any of us thought about shutting the fuck up? How about we start right now? Speaking of freaks.
Noah's little freak. In Hollywood.
You know, comments have been made that we want to be famous.
Which is true.
It's not incorrect.
It's not wrong at all.
But a level has to, an acknowledgeable level of at least notoriety, scandal, has to be acknowledged when the girls are coming out admitting that we've shared a man.
And who hasn't been down that road before?
Again, so the thing is, haven't we all shared a man at one point in time? Mm-hmm. Would you be able to beat that information out of me?
Well, no.
Well, no. But I do see if there was someone worth a damn mentioning, a name drop, possibly. And that happened to me this weekend. Shout out to Becky. She seems like a lovely lady. I didn't think it was done in malice or in bad faith. I think it was just an opportunity, and she offhandedly said something. Didn't think it would even get noticed. But she did let the world know that at one point, the comment was made, I can't stand to look at Mecca. She's so bright, it hurts my eyes, or something along those lines, And Mickey commented, imagine if you found her nudes in your ex's phone. And from there,
let me tell you
we
guys
have a scandal.
How Mecca brought this to our attention. She sends the video. We're like, obviously we're all thinking, oh my gosh, like, why would she say that?
I was too.
And here goes Mecca. Y'all want another gag? I definitely sent that young man nudes. I definitely fucked that man. The scream I scrumped. I said, wow.
And as I stated, I never knew about Mickey.
But she's a real ass bitch for not exposing your nudes. Some bitches are really mean.
So it's been 2 years. She said that. And she also made it clear her beef wasn't with me. Obviously, contextually, the space and time that we're in and the climate on TikTok right now, her saying it didn't help what's happening. But I didn't think she said it to like...
It didn't give like she was trying to be...
And she made it clear. She was like, I didn't think anyone would really see my comment because she commented underneath a comment. And then she explained that like she went through his phone, found my nudes. She followed me on TikTok. He knew that. And so when I would come up, she had blocked me because it was triggering her, which that's some shit that makes sense.
Yeah,
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Make sense, sister.
I mean, I get it. Like, so that was like, oh, when you contextually say it like that, this makes sense. But obviously, as a girl, now I'm thinking about the timeline all goddamn weekend because I'm like, okay. Because she made a very sound video in which, and I, like everyone else, was like, that's why, I mean, I would have joked anyway because it's me. But I definitely was like, oh, like some bitch said I was sexting her man. Okay. Bitch, I went to her page and saw that bio and saw some locations. And then watched her video. And that's when I sent to the group chat. So the gag is, I absolutely fucked that.
It was me.
It was me. So, I want to talk about it. I think this is a really fun, like, not a fun, but
My question is, was it good?
Mickey said she's over it.
That
and
girl's
she's
man.
no longer triggered. Well, I didn't know she was
right.
know.
Yeah. It was good,
he was one of my favorite niggas at the time. I can't lie.
So sorry to that girl.
She would know. He an eater.
Yeah, and she lost her favorite eater probably.
And that's horrible.
Always, No, can you imagine like going through it with your nigga, right? And you just are trying to escape from life and you're going on TikTok like, oh, I love this creator. And then you go through that nigga's phone and he's fucking your favorite creator.
That's gag word. Like
he's not shit.
But he's not. Okay, so also so much context. Again, I was thinking about DMing Mickey. We've interacted, in the comments and stuff. And again, I said, I'm so sorry I did that to you. Because the context here is, he was my out of town. Jamila knows who it is. Like, Jamila also remembers this era. He was one of my out of town, you feel me's. One of my favorite niggas. We talk on the phone. We all this stuff. When we're in the same vicinity, we try and link. Like, it was that thing. Like, we were both single, as far as I knew.
As far
as I knew.
As you knew, darling. However, you were incorrect.
Apparently, one of us was not single.
Why do men lie about that?
I mean, he didn't even lie. The thing is, he did lie, but he didn't. We would tell each other we were going on dates. So again, because we weren't interested in like a long distance relationship. So that opened the door for more honesty in regards to our how we're fucking with other people. I remember when he started fucking with Mickey because he said, I've gone on a couple dates with this girl. I really like her. I remember being like, oh, cool. You gonna cuff her? And he was very like, nah, I don't want no relationship. A goddamn lie. Goddamn lie I've ever heard one.
He was trying to keep that string open.
Because like this went on for 2 years. So if my timeline's correct, I think I was already doing what we were doing for the years we were doing it. He met Mickey. He started liking Mickey. At the point in which he said, I like this girl I'm going on dates with, he had already made her his girlfriend. I think that was the case.
Oh, for sure.
They were already girlfriend, boyfriend.
For sure. He was checking the temperature to see if you gave a fuck and to see if you were going to still like kiki with him. I think that's why he did it like that.
I'm going to tell you why. And this is actually why I ended up stopped talking to him. Because a couple months later, he texts me, I'm just letting you know that I have a girlfriend now and I'm really trying to respect my relationship and all this type of stuff. I believe that's when Mickey found those text messages. And mind you, even without the context of Nikki, Jamila, Mickey, not Nikki, sorry, girl. Even without this context of this happening 2 years later, I read that text message and said, you've been had this bitch. And you probably got caught up. And now you're making the public declaration
so that you can cover your ass.
So that you can cover your ass and show her this.
The old.
I never responded to that text message.
Yeah.
Like to the point, and after that, I still have transparency. I have him on Instagram. He likes to pick from time to time. I like to pick from time to time. But after that, I cut communication because at that point, I had been fucking with him for 2 years. It was clear to me, you got caught up. Because this text message isn't even aligned with who you are. You've never spoken to me like this. You don't even talk in this cadence. This is a professional corporate text message for you to be able to show your girlfriend. And I knew that.
He had to get in line.
I knew that.
Yes.
And for this to come out 2 years later,
in the midst of drama it's a
funny vindication I need. Because the thing is, so often as women, we don't trust that gut. We have all the evidence in front of us. This nigga has spoken to you in a certain text type, tone, tenor for 2 years. All of a sudden,
listen to me, ladies. Listen to me. If you don't hear nothing else,
else,
the moment that man talks to you differently, cut it off.
It's a bitch.
Cut it off.
It's a woman. And what I do,
never talk like
I never even gave, and I think I've told you, you know this. I didn't give him the satisfaction of even responding to that text message. I didn't. Now, I didn't take him off my Instagram, but I did block his number, that like all this stuff. He has since temp checked. And I haven't given, because I just felt like that was stupid. Especially considering you were not my man. And for this to come out 2 years later, I was right. It made this whole weekend worth. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And if everyone found out I was a freak and sending nudes, just know he was sending nut videos too, because that's the type of bitch I am.
Oh, how do you request those? What do you say? Because you said very raw. Mecca is a dominatrix. Y'all know this.
Mickey, you read the text message, girl. How's that?
This is my weekly declaration to let you guys know Mecca is, in fact, a dominatrix. She...
Nut video. Yeah, go ahead, send that to me. Daddy.
Yikes, I hate that for her, but hey,
no,
it happens to the best of us.
It happens to the best of us. I think that, she could have handled it differently too. She could have got weird and all that stuff. I think that, I'm really glad that publicly for Shit Show, me and her were able to like, oh girl, he ain't shit. He ain't shit, girl. He ain't shit.
It's always the man.
It's always the man. They will leave you in the desert without water.
Boys.
Boo boys. They ain't worth a damn. I'm glad that we could do that at least, because I think so often in these situations where clearly the man is the problem, the women end up arguing. Even in situations where it's old, like neither one of us have fucked with him in 2 years.
Yeah.
This could have easily turned into us arguing over this nigga who neither one of us are fucking with.
And I would have never allowed that.
I mean,
I would have been like, bitch, delete this. The fuck?
He was my favorite nigga. He was
like,
one of my best eaters, though.
What? You will never catch. You will never catch me arguing over a
I don't believe in that. So when they came into the comments, even trying to make it that, I said, you know what? I will never do this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know who it was at first, and I was like, but I know men. So if she's saying I'm sexting her man, girl, what your man name is? Because I know how I
probably could have.
Because I probably could have been, but I ain't know about you. Because I be sexed. I'm finna be 29 in 2 weeks. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about, bitch.
Sometimes you gotta
pop your leg in the air and pop a pic and send it to him. The fuck? Fuck y'all. I don't give a damn.
Make me bent over, spread eagle.
Bent over, spread eagle. Bent over. Yeah. Everybody want to be a freak till it's time to be a freak. Hello. Everybody want to talk that shit till it's time to talk that shit. The rap girlies do it all the time. Talk that freaky ass shit, then, I only. That's why Megan the only real bitch. That's why they hate her. That's a different conversation for a different day. The fuck?
We're going to take a break. And we're back.
I would never let no one make me feel bad about my sexuality. As long as it's like, between two consenting adults, it is what it is.
Well, actually, I do have a caveat. I do kink shame, however.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I know that.
No. Some of the kinks are bad.
I'm not in the community
Why are you pretending
that just allows everything. No. Some things need to be shamed.
Yeah. Why are you dressing up like a child?
Strange.
It's strange. You're not going to convince the other.
And
why are you purposely putting on children's clothes and underwear and bullshit? Very strange.
I'm questioning you, and I do think it's strange and weird.
I think that given the opportunity, you would take it.
You're sick.
Yeah. You would do it if you could. I don't like that.
Something ain't right in the buttermilk.
It's not.
I don't like that. But I feel like the most regular kinks are kind of like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, if you like a little,
it's just like, oh,
damn,
freaky.
Now, if you like all them spikes and shit,
yeah,
that's rooted in trauma.
Well, I don't want that. I don't want pain.
I don't want, like, the pleasure of pain. I'm not into that. I am into the shit talking. Obviously, I like sexual tension.
I did slap a boy before, though.
I have slapped and been slapped.
It was kind of fun. I'm like, okay, now don't slap me.
I was taken aback. I was like,
be taken out of character. I would be like, hey,
why'd you do that?
I'm breaking the fourth wall. Hey.
Wait, Jim.
I didn't like that.
You just slap me?
Don't do that again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please don't ever do that.
I was caught off guard.
Yeah, I mean, I bet. Bitch.
Has a man ever called you a bitch or a slut while fucking?
No, and I don't play.
I don't like
that at all.
That seems like
don't degrade me. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm a lady.
Yeah,
don't call me that.
Like the whole screaming, like
I get it. Like for some girls, I suppose. Not me.
Yeah, no,
I'm not a slut
I'm definitely someone who will be like, that hurts. That's my cervix.
Yeah,
please stop.
Like if I was having sex and he was just like, you like that bitch, I would be like, wait. I would literally be like, hey, don't say that. I would be so turned off. Like that just made me so uncomfortable. Like
What's the freakiest thing you think that you like?
I'm not saying that on here.
Oh, really? No. It's freaky?
It's not that it's...
It's so freaky she don't want to say it.
It's just I am a little bit of a prude.
Okay.
When I say a prude...
Yeah, you are.
No.
Yeah.
We can have this conversation offline.
Yeah, I know. I've already had my
business everybody to know.
In the streets.
I just don't be wanting people to know what I do.
You
like
know what
to the
crazy?
Streets, to the world, I don't even participate in that. Y'all, these are all just hypotheticals.
I was literally cracking up. I said, I'm glad that this happened to me because I have a certain personality type. I do see how if this would happen to someone like you, this might have been detrimental.
I wouldn't have cared. I just wouldn't have responded.
Cared, but
like if that girl said like, oh, like imagine, I would have been like, again, like, which nigga was it? Because, well,
yeah, but there is an element of she made it clear she saw my pictures.
Yeah, no, I would have been disturbed.
Yeah, like
because I don't want
of
my pictures out there because I would be thinking, oh my gosh, what if these pictures get into the wrong hands and now my booty...
I said, I will only have to sue for the revenge porn off the strength of principle. Not off the strength of being embarrassed.
I
feel like I'm a work of art.
I think it would be embarrassment. I don't want my...
Yeah, no, but that's valid. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want my chi-chis on the internet.
What I'm saying is, someone like me, this happens to someone like me who's like, yeah, because that's how I am. But I can absolutely understand. Because even still, like, thinking about it, I was like, damn, that means she's seen my nudes. She's like, I went through the conversation.
And they were like full nudes, not like a booty pic. Like they were like, he was like spreading your girl open. He was like, what was you like, what were you doing? Like, actually walk us there. Since you're so not prude, paint the picture. Everybody wants to see, lock in. Mecca is gonna describe her puss.
What that nigga say? Kamala looked like a light-skinned woman with a dark booty hole. A little hyperpigmentation. It's not.
Okay.
That's what happens when you're full black.
So
when you got two black parents.
So you're sending booty hole pictures? Because that's what is that what was happening?
I'm not sending booty hole pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a booty hole. There was an assortment. And again, I know what I do.
Okay.
So from what she described, I know what she was seeing.
What was she saying? Are you a prop the camera up nude type of bitch, or are you
I'm an all type of nude. So she was seeing in the lingerie, regular ass shot. She might have seen some bent over. You know what I'm saying? A little lift it up. It's heavy.
Opening it up and spreading it, or just you whatever peekaboo out.
I was gonna say whatever pink was peekabooing out. She seen that. That's why I said, oh, you seen the pink, because I definitely like to hit a from time to time, and you can see the puss from the back. Yeah. That part is pink. If you come to Femi Aesthetics, we can also bleach your pussy if you struggle with hyperpigmentation. Shameless plug. We're located in Houston, Texas, in Shopstown.
Make me sending black and white nudes.
I have done that. I like to be an artist sometimes.
I'm such a regular. I actually don't send nudes. Actually, now that I think about it,
and you know what?
I send booty pics though.
Yeah, but you know what's also crazy? I'm this. The reason she knew it was me because my face be in them.
Oh my god, what kind of fucking crazy bitch are you?
I be having my glasses on.
Full face is crazy. Like it. Okay, so I definitely have sent nudes before.
This is the real,
but
this is the me.
It's not something I do often because it's like, and like when I say nude, I mean like literally like you're naked, because I feel like if you're sending a booty pic, if you have like underwear on or pants, that's not really a nude. It's just like, it's a sexual. I
send those too.
It's a sexual pic. So for those, if my face is in it, whatever. But like a nude with your face in it is.
He was sending in the news with his face in it too.
He's crazy too. Like, that's crazy.
And the videos.
Because just like, you don't know these people. Like, not saying you don't know these people, but like, what if they decide to just say, drop that shit?
Well, I think the piece here, you have to have a level of trust. People can always switch up. But again, he was also sending shit with his face in it as well. So it wasn't like a...
So you felt like, okay,
I felt
you trust
safe.
me, I trust you type
yeah,
shit.
No,
okay.
I felt
that
safe.
Makes sense.
I felt if you ever do that,
I'll just drop yours type shit.
We're bar for bar here. So yeah, I it wasn't just the one, and that's the other thing. I mean, that's why when it was coming to me, I said, I can definitely see why you had to block me. I can see why you had to block me. Because that is crazy. That's crazy as fuck. And he's also crazy. You know he's crazy. The fact that he would sit there and like engage and just be, he was like, I would be watching her TikToks in front of him. He's psychotic a little bit. A lot of it.
Sick. He was probably getting hard doing that.
He probably was getting off on that. Like, because you know that dominant.
He was probably thinking like, oh.
He's also a dominant type of guy. So I feel like probably just even knowing that like, oh yeah. Sick nigga. Oh, we have one more thing to tell you guys. We saved an elderly man yesterday.
We did. And I would never forget him.
Peter, I hope you're okay. He had a little dementia spell. He tried to run away from his wife, face planted. The biggest part of this story is when Peter untied that other Good Samaritan shoe and kicked him.
Kicked the fuck out of him in his shin. He said,
"Bang! Ah, goddamn!"
He was hopping around. He said, "Fuck!"
He said he's not that bad. That was
like,
good.
He said, then he bit the Hispanic lady. Bit her finger. He said, "Ah." Everybody was like, "Stop!"
And by that point, we was all family. By the time
stop it, Peter.
Stop it, Peter.
What an ambulance. He grabbed Jelani's ankle, child. Jelani was almost up out of there.
It got to the point where we was all like, Peter, stop.
He kept trying to he would be laying down. The Hispanic lady was massaging his head. Then he would try to get up. Everybody, stop, Peter. Sit down. Sit down now.
Sit down.
We had got so comfortable so quick. And that's how you can tell, like, we've been around the block or two just with just experiences.
Specifically, mind you, this is how experienced we are with dementia. I thought he was just falling out. When we got up on him, and it was when he tried to get up and lost his balance, I said, this is dementia.
And I seen them eyes.
I said, oh, that's dementia.
He didn't know what the fuck was going on. I said, oh, that's that dementia.
That's that dementia.
That's that dementia.
Sit him down. What'd your ass say? I'm surprised he ain't wet himself. Because that's what I was waiting for.
I was just waiting for him to shit or piss himself.
Yeah,
I really was.
But that's because that's what happens when the spells start happening. They start falling out and they can't. They usually
they're not competent in that way sometimes. So they just kind of be let loose.
Listen, it's happened with my dad several times. And like I said in the TikTok video, my dad's not at that violent stage, but just that. Get off me. Sit down, Freddie.
Yeah.
And see, my dad don't kick and bite. He gets mad in a different way. He be like, nigga, fuck you. Hey, I'm the motherfucking daddy, nigga. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Man, Darrington, get out my goddamn face. You a junior, nigga. You Fred Jr., nigga. Darrington Evans Jr., nigga.
You Mark-ass nigga.
The fuck, nigga. Won't get up off me, Mecca. Acting like your goddamn mother.
The Cali just came out of you like a spirit, bitch. I'm scared.
Just imagine Peter is my dad, and imagine all that, and it'd be like, shut the fuck up. Damn, sit down, Dad. God damn. And you know, Darrington's at that stage since he's the man who can really like yoke him up. He be arguing, but Darrington is still Darrington. He's also touching the brain. So he be arguing. He like, nigga, I'm finna let you fall, nigga. I'm finna let you fall, nigga. You pissed me off, nigga. It's like, yesterday was so funny.
The two most chaotic people.
And when they be driving, when my dad be when Darrington be picking my dad up for his doctor's appointments, and my dad be trying to like act like that. And my Darrington will call like, man, get your fucking dad, bro. Get your fucking dad, bro. Your dad's tripping. I'm finna let him go and get on the side. He trying to get out. Where he finna go? I don't fucking know. This nigga's tripping.
He better put him in the back seat like
Sister did Peter. Like they did Peter. Shut up for the tell Darrington do that. Next time, put him in the back seat.
Put his ass in the back seat with the child lock. He ain't going no damn well.
I was trying to peep if Peter had a depend on, because at this point we have to put the depend on my dad because he'll have an accident in the car. So it's like, dude, Okay, Peter. Okay. Nigga, I'm the motherfucking daddy, nigga. Y'all my kids talking to me like this.
Man.
Fuck y'all.
I hope Peter's doing okay.
I hope
his wife is okay. She was clearly so irritated and stressed because it's like you could tell she's been around the block a couple times. We just left the hospital. She said, yeah. He does get aggressive.
It was.
She looked at us like, well, yeah. He does.
Yeah. I said,
oh,
this
Peter.
She
said, oh, Peter.
Dementia parent coded.
I'm like, oh.
I said, the fact that we be going through this in Black people is crazy. Because she was like, yeah. I said, this be Monty. I'm not arguing with you, Freddie. Sit your dumb ass down. And
Black
she old
so brutal.
And like, sit your monkey ass down, Freddie. Sit your monkey ass down. Ain't nobody finna argue with you. Nigga. So, my dad's nickname is Snow in the street because Freddie Snow, he white as snow. But now they be like, think you still Freddie Snow. You Freddie Slow.
What the fuck? Damn, they ate that.
I be cracking up because at the end of the day, this is still like brothers and sisters arguing. Shit actually don't matter. So the way they be going on each other, when they started calling him Freddie Slow, I said,
Peter, if you're out there,
Peter Slow.
If your daddy named Peter, he got dementia, he live around Tucker, please let us know he all right.
And where the EMTs end up going after they got off work? Because
they
was
trying
to
come with us. I said, nigga,
you
heard me say chili the other 3 times you asked.
They asked us 5 times. Where y'all finna go after this?
Nigga, after a fucking medical emergency? To eat.
Y'all need to go handle Peter, but we gonna be at Chili drinking them triple dippers and the margaritas. The margarita of the month is a lemon drop. I'll be there trying to drop something on you. Ow. That's why that bitch be sexting.
Let's spin it, child.
We're going to take a break. And we're back.
All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get into Spin It? The title is Disclaimer. Dumb bitch alert. You have my attention.
Wait, we have to do welcome to our segment Spin It. This is where you send your lowdown gutter snipe situations, and Jamila and I will try and help you put a little PR spin on it. It might be a little ghetto. It might be unhinged. It might be immoral. Now, full disclaimer, Jamila and I are not PR professionals, but we did study communications in college, and we do love the hustle and the bustle. So, back to Jamila.
I love the pod, and I swear I want to be the third the way I be talking on my phone, like we on FaceTime, LOL. But let me get to it, onto the story. I, 27 female, have been with my man, 26 male, for 2 years. Emphasis on the man, not boyfriend. We met on a dating app beginning of 2023 and have been stuck ever since. We're long distance. In March of 2023, he asked me to be his girlfriend, which he really didn't. He just said he wanted to be in a relationship with me, and I shared the same sense, but we had only FaceTime. Didn't know a lot about each other in my eyes to get into a relationship. Yet again, but I told him I wanted the same. He was bringing up moving and all these things, and I'm like, babe, slow down. In my head, I'm like, if we were to stop talking today, you just be another nigga I texted. Second disclaimer. I never really stopped being single. I kept my options open, but I hate meeting new guys. So it's not like I had 20 niggas lined up. Also, the way if you like so many punctuations, I'm sorry, it's like a big one. It's confusing me. Also, I hadn't been back on the app. In June of 2023, I sent him a "Will you be my girlfriend?" post that was cute as a wink, and his response was, "I asked you once, I'm never asking you again. You rejected me." That had me in my feels, so my delusional self made a fake Hinge account to see if he'd match, and he did. LMAO. Made plans to link the girl and all. Mind you, I was coming the same weekend. When I confronted, he swore he knew it was me, the catfish, and that's why he kept it up. But he thought it was his ex doing it. Then we stopped speaking for a month. Fast forward today, we're still not technically in a relationship. I do talk to other guys and don't tell him, obviously, LOL. And I do feel bad, but I'm like too old to be dealing with someone who can't ask me to be in a relationship. But also, anytime I meet a new guy, I get the ick and they're just not him. Do I bring up the whole girlfriend thing again? But then that sounds like begging or do I just leave? We've seen each other about 4 times at this point. He also doesn't have a job with PTO to be able to fly to me. And when I do see him, it's not dates. It's just chilling at his apartment.
Girl, drop that nigga.
You sent all this
and ended it with, we don't go on dates.
You said nothing to convince me that, number one, you like this nigga for real or that he's real.
I don't think y'all like each other.
But girl,
I think y'all need to leave each other alone.
If we were on live, I would have hung up on you. Get out of my face with this bullshit. You know good and goddamn well you don't like him. What you mean you... First of all, I don't know how you feel about this, but this is just me.
How long were they talking before first time
I think she said 2 years.
No, before the first time he asked to be the girlfriend.
2 years.
It took him 2 years to ask you to be his girlfriend?
And so what I was going to say is,
I didn't even catch that part.
I am not necessarily... I feel like engagements and getting in a relationship are similar in the fact that, like, you should probably have that conversation before you just... 27.
Too old for this.
You know, like, meaning like you need to have conversations before you just like ask, right? Like, for example, if you know you're in a relationship with somebody and you want to get married, before you ask, maybe you should have that conversation. Like, hey, like, how do you feel about marriage? Do you want to get married to me? Like, before I da. And same with getting in a relationship. Like, if you guys are talking, like, I feel like you should have the conversation. Like, hey, like, I really like you. I feel like I would want to get in a relationship with you at some point. How do you feel about that? And have the conversation. That way you're not shocked and awed. That's number one. Number two, the whole he did but didn't, I'm confused. Like, did he or did he not? And so if he did, were y'all in a fucking relationship? Because it never sounded like y'all were. It sounded like y'all were just talking shit on the phone.
Yeah. It sounded like niggas do that thing where they bring up, well, they say, yeah, something about, they make it seem like, oh yeah, you my girlfriend. And then you're like, oh, am I? And they make it seem like that's asking. That's not asking. So I'm not going to even assume or act like that's asking. That's number one. I'm one of the types that I need a grand gesture. I'm one of them.
What you want? You want like the hotel room type shit?
You know, it don't have to. When I say grand gesture, I just mean effort. I think, to your point, and 27 is really when this starts. I remember making TikToks in real time, like, going on dates is different now. The guys are saying, what do I want for marriage? Do I see myself married in 5 years? Last year, they were talking about they weren't interested in shit. 27 is a shifting point where I just don't, you're wasting time. If you just going with the flow and chilling, cool, but make that known. If that's not what you're interested in, though, you need to make that clear. Hey, I am dating to at least get in a relationship. I am dating for marriage. I am dating for a long-term relationship. So at this point, I don't talk to no one who I don't see myself being married to. That's not what it's looking like for me.
Like, so every guy you talk to, you feel like you could see yourself getting married to them?
Yeah, I think that's important. Or having a baby. Like, I think it's important not to fuck on niggas who I don't think wouldn't be good fathers.
Because you want that?
Not because I want it, but because life happens. I live in Texas. I do have the means to take my ass home to California and make shit shake if I need to, which is what I would most likely do. But I also think it's important to think, like, why would I want to fuck on a nigga who I don't think is gonna take care of a child? I mean, I'm just at that age. And the niggas I talk to, I think that the way that they treat me is a reflection of how they would treat your child. So, well, we know that's very iffy, but for as much as you can do preventative work, I think that's the best preventative work you can do. Because if you can't ask him for $20 now, you won't be able to ask him for $20 for shit show when you have a baby. You get what I'm saying? You're picking up what I'm putting down? Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, I'm just not talking to niggas who it's like.
That's what I'm saying. So are you dating to marry? Is my question then. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not interested in getting married anytime soon. Mm-hmm. But I'm not dating anyone who it's like, I wouldn't marry you. I'm past that. I'm past that for sure.
Just dating niggas.
Just dating niggas just for niggas. Jazz and I were talking about this last night. I was like, I just don't even see dating like that anymore. Mm-hmm. I think that, and having gone through like this metamorphosis in public on TikTok, I definitely had I want the fairy tale. I want to be in love. I want to da da da. And then I don't know. I woke up. I turned 28. I woke up. I said, there's more to life. And the things that I seek to be fulfilled by are not necessarily a relationship. And just cliche as it always happens, here come all the niggas professing their love when I decide I don't care about that no more. So I do want to be in a relationship. I do want to be married. I'm not interested in being married for probably years at this point because I know like the commitment that requires. And right now my commitment is to my business, is to our businesses, is to what we're doing. So if that calls, I'm going to get up and go, you know? So I say all that to say, I'm not dating anyone I wouldn't marry, but I'm not interested in getting married. I hope that makes sense.
To those to whom it may concern, I
Whom it may
suppose.
concern. I hope you guys get what I'm saying.
Yeah. As far as this lady, I don't really have to spin it for you because you don't need to spin anything. You just need to like stop talking to him because it just doesn't seem you're interested. And it seems like y'all are wasting each other's time.
Yeah.
Because it's clear that you want to be in a relationship, but it's not clear that you want to be in a relationship with him per se.
And I think if you have the question, I think if it's I don't want to be in a relationship with him, you do better to just leave it where it's at.
Yeah, because if he was so great of a guy, you would want to be in a relationship with him.
Yeah.
Like we're not that crazy.
He doesn't sound like a great guy, just given what you said. But it seems like you know that.
If you knew for fuck sure he was lying about that, because you knew he was lying about that hinge.
He did not think that hinge was you or next.
That's so stupid.
Niggas are stupid.
That's the dumbest fucking lie you could have ever said.
Liar.
He would have been better off just saying like, I mean, I was confused at where we were. I was still just keeping my options open, and I would have respected you far more.
Of anything like
I don't know why men think that you have to coddle women. Like if you just say what it was, like, oh, okay, like. But also, no shade, sister. I would have never did that. Like, I would have never created a fake hinge account just to see if the nigga was.
That's a lot.
You're girl.
But you had to get that reassurance.
And sometimes you just gotta ask.
Sometimes the reassurances that love and relationship or promise of relationship makes us do.
Let me tell you how crazy that is. You were hoping to get him on your hinge. You understand? Like, it wasn't a guarantee that he was gonna pop up on your hinge. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Instagram where you can go to their page. You know what I'm saying? You were hoping to find him on the swipes. You're crazy.
And that's okay. I just want, this is for the girls who they call crazy. Sometimes the things that will reassure you on your gut feeling, you need that reassurance.
Please stop being crazy.
As a crazy lady myself, taking it back to the point earlier and why, if everything that happened this weekend was worth it, the vindication, because it was around that point in time that I stopped doing crazy shit like that. Mm-hmm. Because the crazy shit like that, much like this sister, I would be proven correct. And it was like, well, that's what I thought anyway. I didn't have to do no crazy shit to do that. Yeah. And that, when I saw that text message that the boy sent, that was one of the first times that instead of doing some crazy shit to confirm I was correct, I just said, I'm going to follow my gut. And so I'm gonna say this to all the crazy ladies out there: You're not crazy because you think. Yeah. You're crazy because
you're following through.
No, you're crazy because the shit that you're doing to confirm. Exactly. You're crazy for getting trying to get the receipts to back up your gut feeling. Just follow your gut. You didn't
need all of that.
You didn't need all that.
That's what
you
makes
knew
it
that.
Crazy. You knew.
You knew that. And sometimes 2 years later, people will pop out and say they found your nudes and your asshole in their ex's phone, and you knew he had a girlfriend. So you ain't got to be crazy. Sometimes it just come to you.
Oh, God. Well, let's get into these comments, y'all.
We're going to take a break. And we're back.
All right, y'all. We are about to read a couple of our comments and reviews and thoughts from the previous episodes. I want y'all to continue to send those in. We love reading them so much. We love all the feedback. So yeah, make sure you guys keep sending them in. I'm going to start off with the Apple Podcast. Truly Unhinged and My Exact Cup of Tea by Six Parker. Gave us 5 stars. I'm excited. Period. Y'all have me in stitches. I can no longer listen to y'all at work due to the laughter that comes from the deepest depths of my gut. Long story short, I have lost my podcast music privileges, but it's all worth it. Thank you. Keep up the great work, ladies. Definitely in my top 2 of podcasts. Coming from TikTok, I love to experience y'all in this space. It's such a real place. Also, my latest scare tactic for my teenage sisters is get pregnant with chlamydia if you want to. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I'm sad you had to stop listening to us at work, but please don't lose that job over us, sister.
Please.
But thank you so much for the
get pregnant with chlamydia if you want to. It's good. Okay, I'll be reading everyone from Spotify. Autumn says, you guys having Meech as y'all first guest is so iconic. What a legend. We love Demetrius. Keisha the cutie, period, said, the way I never realized that meme was Jamila. Wow. Proof that when it's your time, no one can stop you. Wow. Vantori said, y'all need Bubba or Swave next. Bubba or Swave? Come on down. Come to the podcast. Please. We'd love that. Bubba and Swave. Guy Relief said, yes to more old black internet stars as guests. King Batch and friends are not included. They would never be invited.
That King Batch, child.
Astro said, I said, Michi, not we got Meech in the building. And Michaela said, y'all have me belly laughing. I'm so weak. Last week was funny as fuck.
I just need to laugh.
Bubba and Sway, please come to the podcast.
Everybody come to the podcast. Okay, these are some YouTube comments. I got this notification and looked around like Beyonce at the Grammys. I felt like Christmas. Aww. That was Kiss BKE 6436. Ed Skylar J says, OMG, y'all had Meech on here. How iconic. Was screaming the entire segment after spinning. Y'all are so funny. At the mag, I love dark humor. I'll never forget my sister said, I'm dead, loud as hell in the middle of a funeral in response to something I said. I wasn't even trying to be funny for real. LMAO. I look at my mom, the look that our mom gave us. I would have been a triple threat funeral that day. Please. Ed Miles said, Meech was the perfect first guest. So proud of all three of y'all. Thank you so much. Demetrius Harmon, what's up? He said he got a kid for sure. I'm all knowing. No, the way he predicted that killed me.
He got a kid.
Ed Magravon said Mecca and Jamila just kept on with the convo, and I'm right with Demetrius dying. Ed Desiree McNair 7313. Y'all are hilarious. Jamila talking about you need to get you a 6. I agree, girlie. You should not date her coworker, LMAO. Ed Mays 777 said at the timestamp, facts. Men want the baddest women in the city until they get them and recognize they can lose them to someone else. So they try to humble women into shells of themselves. Amen. That's a word right there. Don't get a bad bitch if you can't handle a bad bitch. Proverbs 8:31.
Church announcements. Don't forget to subscribe. Obviously, like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to our Patreon. We are a little bit late this week on the Insecure episode. The rewatch episode, we'll probably do that tonight, film tonight, all that stuff. So that should be up tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah. You'll get it when you get it.
Patreon, $3 monthly. We upload our interviews with TikTok people, mutuals, all of our other content. We will be in Dallas Easter weekend. We're having some hostings. We are hosting Rooted in Rhythm, the country music festival for Black and brown people, to showcase rising stars of color in country music.
We're also hosting a brunch on Easter Sunday.
On actual Easter
I forgot
Sunday.
What restaurant it is.
I did forget what restaurant.
But we'll post it for sure.
People were giving us suggestions of churches to pop in, maybe for Easter service in Dallas before that. Definitely keep doing that. And we have some other things in the work for Dallas that you guys will see.
Yeah, so make sure you guys are following along. We are actually shooting, I think we said it earlier in the podcast, we're shooting our promo today for our live show. So just know we're still working on that, and we'll have information for y'all sooner than soon. So thanks all for all the support and all of the hate as well. Love you. Bye.
Send them a picture of your booty hole.
Unhinged and Immoral is hosted by Jamila and Mecca.
Produced by Melisa D. Monts and Diamond MPrint Productions.
Post-production by Coco, Llorens.
Production assistant by Melanie D. Watson.
Music by Audie and Brooklyn Billionaires.
And graphics by Claudia, Choi.